Welcome. This is your boy. This is your motherfucking boy, King Known Uncensored, aka King Known NBA and Music Talk, and we are back with the puffy transcripts for today. We're gonna start here. They are continuing on with the testimony with David James, and now Combs' lawyer Agnifilio is now cross-examining David James, Puffy's former assistant. This is where they left off. All right, this is before the jurors come in. We oppose David James testifying about the incident with Suge Knight. He's going to mention D-Rock. Say he was a friend of Biggie Smalls. That's decades ago, not relevant. Seems like you are previewing your cross. Interesting on why he wanted to take such a position. Let's get to where the jurors come in, bro. I want to get it cracking. All right, so AUSA Slavic is now cross-examining David James now. All right, so what about physical violence between Mr. Combs and Cassie? Did you personally observe it? David James says, no, I did not. Do you remember a blog post? Yes, I was in LA when he came back from a club. What did Mr. Combs say? That someone was lying on him, saying he hit Cassie at the club. He went through my browser history. No one had ever done that to me. Did Mr. Combs give you instructions about Cassie? To bring her food at the London hotel, some Roscoe's. What is Roscoe's? Some delicious fried chicken in Los Angeles. What did you do for Mr. Combs in New York? I'd bring him applesauce, Jell-O, Fiji water, his toiletry bag of ointments just for men. We bought 40 items so he wouldn't call us later. I'd get a key like at the Trump International. I'd set up the medicine bag and the personal Louis Vuitton bag. What was in it? A Viagra, ecstasy, and perks. Damn! I'd use my personal credit card. Bad boy paid me back. Who usually paid you back? Usually Bonds, Roger Bonds. Did Mr. Combs ever stay alone in a hotel? Never. Usually Cassie, sometimes other women. Did he text you for things during a stay? He'd text me for an iPod or food. Anything strange ever happen? Yes, in Miami, he asked for an iPod from his house on Star Island. I drove to his hotel and knocked. No answer. I had the key. I'd set up the room. What did you see? Cassie on the bed. Interesting. There was another person who sort of scurried away, and the shower was on. I thought Mr. Combs was in there. How was she sleeping? On her back. Damn! Agnifilio says, objection. Judge says sustained. What about the other person? He was about 5'8" with long hair and a large endowment. He scurried away. Did you ask anything? I wasn't hired to ask about their personal affairs. Yeah, okay, nigga. Did you ever pick up drugs for Mr. Combs? Yes, Percocets at a pharmacy, sometimes in my name. Did you give him permission to use your name? I don't recall that. Was there a drug dealer? Yes, One Stop. This One Stop guy, I wonder who he is. I am curious now. He met with a lot of people. Yes, even former presidents. Which one? Former President Obama. What was your understanding would have happened if you had done these things? Agnifilio says, objection. Sustained. Did you ever take ecstasy? Yes, I was drinking Ciroc. I took ecstasy. I was Diddy bopping. What do you mean? I was vibing. Did you speak to Mr. Combs about it? He was reviewing footage of the party. We had a videographer who filmed the parties. He asked me, hey, Playboy, was that you dancing around at the party? I said, yes. And he said, I'm going to keep the video in case I ever need it. Meaning that I'd be embarrassed. Did anything ever go missing? They said a bracelet was missing. Uncle Paulie came to my hotel room and searched my belongings and those of my girlfriend at the time. Could you have said no? Agnifilio says, objection. Judge says, move on. Yo, shit's getting feisty. Shit is getting real. Shit getting real in the field. Did you ever have to take a lie detector test? Yes. Who was present? Just me and this gentleman. It was very intimidating. They'd put monitors on my head, chest, and hand. Could you refuse? Not to keep my job. When did this happen again? Yes, when Mr. Combs said a watch of his had been stolen. What was the result? The gentleman told me I seemed nervous. I said, sure I am. Once Capricorn Clark had to take a lie detector test to prove that she wasn't part of the heist of Mr. Combs' jewelry. Damn. This is wild. But again, what does this have? Well, I think that the incident in Cassie's room has something to do with sex trafficking. But why are they asking all these other questions that ain't got nothing to do with shit? Get to the damn fucking part. That's how I would be feeling right now. But I do understand this is like a 45-day trial and shit like that. So we just here to hear crazy, insane stories. All right, so AUSA Slavic still questioning David James. Was there an incident at Mel's Diner with Suge Knight? Yes, I drove the Silver Navigator to get cheeseburgers there. D-Rock says, that's motherfucking Suge Knight. He went over and said, what's up? Suge didn't recognize him. D-Rock said, I'm Biggie's boy. So we, in fact, now know, based on today's testimony, that D-Rock is indeed the D-Rock. Damian Butler. Biggie homeboy. I knew it was that D-Rock. What happened next? We noticed 4 black SUVs to different sides of the parking lot. I saw someone hand Suge Knight a gun. D-Rock says, we got to get out of here. We drove back to the house. What did you find there? Cassie was crying. Mr. Combs got into the vehicle and I saw 3 guns on his lap. I felt calm because we'd been in a silver vehicle and now a black one. They wouldn't see us coming. What did you find at Mel's Diner? Suge Knight had left. Mr. Combs says, drive around the block. Oh, shit. What did you decide? To leave the company. They offered me other positions, but I just wanted to leave. My life was at risk. No further questions. Wow, so this nigga was trying to get Suge Knight up out of here. Damn. I apologize if you hear that noise. You know, I'm just charging my phone. So if there's any noise, that's me charging my phone. All right. So the judge says, Mr. Agnifilio. All right. Agnifilio, you didn't tell all this the first time. David James says, they told me to stop, to not say anything that would incriminate me. Look at the notes from your interview. Read it to yourself and then look up at me. Okay. How did you recognize Suge Knight? I listened to hip-hop. Were you drinking or smoking pot? No, sir. Your mind was clear as it could be, working 20 hours a week at 4 a.m. D-Rock opens the door. Suge Knight is a few cars over. Window open. David James. D-Rock says, I'm Biggie's boy. Then Suge Knight recognizes him, gives him a dap. What's a dap? A handshake. Did you leave D-Rock at the diner? Why are you smiling? Because that's a crazy question. Why would I? Didn't you leave D-Rock at the diner? That makes no sense. I'm not asking what makes sense. I'm asking, did you? Nigga? Nah, he ain't say nigga. I'm just throwing a little sauce. No. You saw Cassie and Mr. Combs. Yes, Mr. Combs told me not to drive. Yes, Mr. Combs told me to drive. You don't know where Mr. Combs got the guns, do you? I didn't know we had guns until then. Have you ever been in a situation like that? No. You didn't say, I don't want to drive Suge Knight with guns. No. What exactly did you do before you got this job? I was a door-to-door salesman, then a personal assistant. Now you were going to going with guns to confront someone. It was not ideal. You knew how to get to Mel's Diner, right? I frequent there all the time. You never seen guns before? Shit. No. This is a radical departure from your job description. Is that an understatement? It's the understanding. Okay. Yeah, man. Sometimes, they're typing so fast and doing things so fast and stuff like that. This is a radical departure from your job description. Is that an understatement? It's the understatement of the day so far. Do you have immunity? Ask my lawyer. I have some kind of offer agreement. A proffer. You didn't tell anyone about this. Only my wife. Did you meet with the government this morning? Yes, briefly. About what might come up in Cross. Did the Mel's Diner incident come up? Not that I recall. It's this morning. What did you talk about? Your style. Laughter in the courtroom. I'm dying to ask what they said, but I won't. I have a few more mundane questions. I love mundane questions. Where did you travel with Mr. Combs? Ibiza, London, Saint-Tropez? Were these vacations business-oriented? What were you hired as? A personal liaison, but I was a personal assistant. He met a high-level roster of people. Second understatement of the day. Why? He met with a who's who. It was important that he prepared for this meeting, right? Yes. It was important that he be on time. No. We changed meetings to fit his schedule all the time when he didn't want to show up at a certain time. He had security because people wanted to touch him, right? Yes, in the airport, in McDonald's. Was he gracious? I don't think gracious is a word I'd use for Sean Combs. Did he sign autographs? No. You said he'd stay in the studio until 3 or 4 a.m. and you'd stay with him. Yes, it was common. What sort of things would he always want to have with him? Ketchup, for example. Do you know what he put? Did you know that he put applesauce on cheeseburgers? No, but I knew he likes applesauce. He liked Astroglide, condoms, and baby oil, but you didn't expense it throughout the business? Usually not. I was told that he didn't want to run them through the company. He didn't want a record of them. That's interesting. When you bought the 8 ball of Coke on Saint-Tropez? You didn't tell Mr. Combs, did you? He was asleep. Tell me about your relationship with Roger Bonds. We talked about Bad Boy as a family. What do you mean? Mama Combs called me her son many times. Oh, shit. What was the mission? Make sure he's happy. Was it fun? I enjoyed it from time to time. What was your relationship with Chef Jordan? Professional. Did you choke her? No. The AUSA says objection. Judge says sidebar. Tell me what happened. We were on Star Island. She told me where to take him. I grabbed her 2 wrists and said, stay in your fucking lane. Was there fallout? It was reported to corporate HQ. Mr. Combs called me in. Mr. Combs told me, you can't be putting your hands on women. He told me to give her a gift. What did you give her? I rolled up a blunt and gave it to her. Did she like it? It appears she did. Ain't that about a bitch? Puffy got some fucking nerve. All right, back to the fucking cross-examination. Agnifilio is still, cross-examining Mr. James. You were in a car with Puffy and who? Chris Lighty. Have you taken ecstasy? I'd party, sure. What were things like in the studio? Drugs? Yes, it was a creative environment. I didn't smoke when I was working with Mr. Combs, but he caught you smoking once. I thought he was in for the night. I lit up. He came out. He said, what are you doing? I said, nothing. He said, if you're man enough to smoke, you're man enough to tell me. I said, okay, smoking. He said, if I did it again, he'd fire me. That's very interesting. Weird. But I get what Puffy's saying. How about when you picked up 2 prostitutes and had sex with one? Damn. Woohoo. AUSA says objection. 403. Judge says overruled. Ha ha. Damn. That is crazy. Agnifilio got to the nitty gritty of the itty bitty titty committee. Shit. So David James responded with, she asked for $200. I called Bonds and asked, what the hell? She asked to take a shower. I said, that's $200. And then the courtroom laughed. And he laughed too. On that note, no further questions. So they reenacted before I self-destruct, huh? Can I use your shower? Sure. That was very Cinemax porn. Judge says redirect. AUSA Slavic says, what about the incident in Alpine, New Jersey? To file a police report and say that Chef Jordan had been the aggressor, but I didn't file it. I drove around and told him I'd make the report. What have we asked you to do? To tell the truth? Nothing further. Recross. So now it goes back to Agnifilio. You lied to Mr. Combs about filing a police report. Yes. Nothing further. Could we have a break? So then the court breaks. This is the early part because there's still a lot to go here, y'all. So, the government calls Regina Ventura. This is where shit got interesting when I was reading earlier. Cassie's mama is on the stand, y'all. It's getting real. The AUSA says, where do you live? Regina Ventura says, New London, Connecticut. How many children do you have? 2, Roderick and Cassandra. Who is this? This is Sean Combs. He dated my daughter. When did you meet Sean Combs? 2006. My daughter signed with Bad Boy Records. He was her boss. Then they started dating. They moved to LA. Read this message from December 2001. Cassandra wrote to me. She said that Sean Combs threatened to release a sex tape and go after her and Mr. Mess Cudi. That's Kid Cudi, of course. Interesting. How did you react? It made me sick. Sean Combs demanded $20,000, he said, to recoup losses due to Mr. Miss Cudi from my husband and myself. Why did you take a loan to pay Sean Combs for the safety of my daughter? Look in the binder next to you. These are the photos that... Look in the binder next to you. These are the photos I took of my daughter's bruises from Sean Combs. Tough. Do you know Mia? She was an employee of Sean Combs. What happened? We were in his kitchen laughing. Sean asked her why she was laughing. She stopped and looked plain. Now on to August 2016. We're done with the binder. While in LA, did you call the police? Yes. Sean Combs stole Cassandra's phone. They had a bitter argument outside of her apartment building. She lived on the 17th floor. They argued at the roundabout. Who else was there? D-Rock. Is Damian Butler his government name? He was standing between us. I tried to hit him. Sean Combs took Cassandra's car, a Jaguar. No further questions. Cross the defense. No questions. Next witness. Damn. That was quick. That was very, very quick. But, all right, so the next witness. The government calls Mr. Sheree Hayes. Oh, shit, this is one of the sex workers, from what I know. All right, so the AUSA is interviewing Mr. Hayes. Where are you from? Harlem, New York. What was your work? Male exotic dancer. I was known as the Punisher. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. That's crazy. So Puffy and Cassie was getting pounded out by a nigga named the Punisher? Hey, yo. Punisher, the Punisher. Bodie Quat. Nah, I just wanted to do that. But anyway, do you recognize these two? I do. Mr. Sean Combs and Cassie Ventura. I was hired in 2012 to create a sexy, erotic scene for them. Oh my God, I am still in stitches about the fucking Punisher. The AUSA asks, why were you called the Punisher? Playing basketball on West 4th Street. The woman who called you. What time did she book you for? Midnight at Trump Tower, Central Park West. Strip tease for a small group of friends. When you got there, how did Mrs. Ventura appear? In a bathroom with nothing underneath, in a wig. I was expecting a crowd. There was no one else. She told me that she and her husband wanted to create a sexual scene with baby oil. Baby Earl. Baby Earl, bitch. Damn. That is wild. What did she hand to you? $800. How was the room? Dimly lit, electric candles. Now it's 10. Where you been? They so anxious. BB at 11:30. I'm setting the scene for y'all niggas, man. I can't just be reading transcripts. Gotta make it fun and entertaining. Dimly lit electric candles. How was the room? Dimly lit electric candles, bowls of water with bottles of baby oil in them. She told me not to acknowledge her husband, not to look at him when he came out. Oh my God. Did he come out? Yes, he was naked, but I could not see his face. It was like what a Muslim woman wears. You only see the eyes. He had a bottle of Astroglide. How did you recognize it? I use it. The purple top? How did it end? She went into the other room with him. When she came back, she asked if I wanted to finish. I said no. If they were happy, I was happy. She gave me more money. Did you do it again? Yes. 8 to 12 times. God damn. Smoky voice. God damn. How did you end up recognizing her? I was a fan of Mr. Combs and followed him on Instagram. I saw her on it. This will be a good place to break. Yeah, facts. I would break too. Baby, grind on me. Or let somebody take your time on me. Yo, this is crazy. This is wild. All right. Says we're back. How were these sessions scheduled? I'd reach out to about 5 or 7 p.m. for later. They asked for a sexy scene, but I knew it would be more. How did it start? Baby Earl. Baby oil. A sexy atmosphere. Mr. Combs would direct. How did the direction work? Now we getting into what this case is all about. The trafficking and the prostitution. Finally, y'all wasted. Side note, they pretty much wasted time putting Cassie. I mean, but then again, I say some of the questions for Cassie were okay, but why the fuck y'all put Dawn on the fucking stand to talk about abuse that is not even a part of this case? I guess it's probably for the threat portion of the trial, so I guess. But a lot of those questions were unnecessary. But again, I get it. It's a 45-day trial. It is what it is. But all this shit is wild and weird. But it's cool, though. It's like Cinemax porn. How did the direction work? Mr. Combs might say, sit forward, daddy. Move the camera. Or what happened sexually, you know. One time during sex, he dropped a stack of money. He said, I like this shit. That nigga said, I love it how you doing this, daddy. The way you been scrambling and scraping. Oh, fuck. How much baby oil did you use? A lot. We were supposed to be glistening as much as possible. How long would they last? 4 hours. A lot of waiting. Maybe 40 minutes or so. I was supposed to finish in a specific spot. And then what? She would leave with Mr. Combs 10 or 15 minutes. She'd return in a bathrobe and pay me $2,000 or $1,200 cash. Did you think Miss Ventura was enjoying herself? Xavier Donaldson, Combs' attorney, says, objection. Judge says sustained. Did you use drugs? I'm not a marijuana smoker, but I did pull a Bill Clinton. I was handed a joint. Meaning that, you know, Mr. Bill Clinton, our former president, was like, I did inhale. So I get what he's saying. Did you have performance issues having the woman's partner there? Yes. Did the issues affect your pay? Objection. Damn. Yo, shit getting crazy. Overruled. I wasn't sure how they calculated it. One time, Mr. Combs threw condoms on the couch next to us. I struggled. It was a failure. Understandable. I ain't getting in no motherfucking room with no other dude. They went out. I finished. She came back and thanked me for privacy. What did you think would happen next? I was worried I would not be used again. I hadn't done my job. He has said, I want to see you fuck her. And I couldn't. Hit her with the Reggie from Players Club. She'll let you fuck. Are you writing a book? Yes, a self-help book about erectile dysfunction. It's advice. In your book, do you write about your time with Mr. Combs and Miss Ventura? Yes, I call them a married wealthy couple. How long is it? No Diddy. 6 pages out of 186. I sensationalized it. I wanted it to be enjoyable. Highs and lows. No further question. Mr. Donaldson, the judge says. All right, so now Xavier Donaldson is going to cross-examine Sheree Hayes. Sheree is crazy, though, for a nigga name. I'll try to make this as harmless as possible. Congratulations on your book. What's it called? In Search of Freezer Me. What's harder than that? What the fuck? The fuck is he talking about? You know what? Oh my God. Donaldson said, good title. I know niggas had to laugh in that fucking courtroom. Cause I wouldn't have been able to contain myself. They would have had to remove me from the courtroom. You have a website now. Yes, I'm a co-owner. All the male dancers are independent contractors. You've been doing this for 25 years, 30 years, coming up on a big anniversary. You dance with them? A professional dry hump for 30 years, thousands of ladies. You try not to develop feelings for them, right? You try not to. It's a job. But you talk with Cassie. Cordial. She asked to be able to call you just to set the sessions up. We were never asked to talk. She was comfortable with you. She said so. You had feelings for her? Incorrect. But you thought she was only doing this with you. That is correct. She said it was a special occasion. You did develop feelings for her. That's not correct. You told the government. The government's notes say you developed feelings for her. That may have been taken out of context. You used your 25 years experience. This was a different scene. Unless I aim for humor. You wouldn't try to dry hump someone who didn't want to be dry humped, correct? Yeah, I see why Puffy younger children left that bitch. Hey, yo, shit is crazy. Yes, it is important to read the room. So you read the room with Cassie and she wanted objection. AUSA says. Judge says sustained. Was Mr. Combs' request that you penetrate? It was a demand, a strong suggestion. Cassie paid you even when she canceled, right? Yes, $500. Mr. Hayes, I wish you success with your book. Thank you. Judge says redirect. Now the AUSA is cross-examining Mr. Hayes. What made you think Miss Ventura was enjoying herself? It was the first time unprotected without the details. Objection, Mr. Donaldson says. No further questions, the AUSA says. The judge says, anything, Mr. Donaldson? So Mr. Donaldson comes back up. Yo, this is like tag team wrestling with these lawyers. Anything, Mr. Donaldson? What do you mean by steamy? I felt it was enjoyable for Miss Ventura and Mr. Combs. Oh, wow. So they showed a picture of David James. This is a white man with gray hair now. I assume he was much younger. When he first started with Bad Boy, he was one of them white boys that liked hip-hop. All right. So now, you got a government witness now. Next up, the AUSA says the government calls Special Agent Gerard Gannon. Where do you work? Agent Gannon says HSI in Miami with the National Security Group. In March 2024, the HSI Human Trafficking Group Sex and Labor in Miami. What time did the search begin? I guess they are referring to when they raided Diddy's house. What time did the search begin? After 3 p.m.? Why so late? We learned Mr. Combs and his family were flying out of the country. Was there a pier on the property on Style Island? Yes, we had to monitor it. Photos of 2 Star Island shown. Why did you have to break open the gate? To make sure bad actors wouldn't have time to search, wouldn't have time to put those who would search in danger? Who is this a photo of? What is this a photo of? The pool and a pier. After review of Star Island 4 plan, what did you find there? Parts of AR-15 rifles, sex toys, and Astroglide. Photos of guns shown to the jury. These magazines were loaded with bullets. What do these show? The serial numbers have been cut out. The AUSA says, let's turn to 2 more exhibits. What are these? Agent Gannon says, the ammunition we found. And these platform high heels. How high are they? 7 inches? This may be a good place to break for the day. What the fuck? Well, I believe that's it. Damn. My overall thoughts on this is fucking wild. This is like Zane Chronicles, bruh. Cinemax porn and shit. Tubi porn. But finally, some things that were relevant to the case. All right, y'all. I guess I'm done. Freaky ass nigga, he is 69 guy. Freaky ass nigga, he is 69 guy. Hey, 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 run for your life. Hey, 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 run for your life. Everybody say OV ho. All right, this Kingdom NBA music. I'm gone.